Good evening, everyone. For those of you that missed it, I did upload my marketing update, the first one in 2 weeks, yesterday. This is my market analysis to kind of discuss what I've marketed over the last 2 weeks. A lot of the items I have held because they've dropped quite a bit, so the prices have changed a lot. But as far as the trades and stuff, there wasn't that many. The last market analysis I did, I think, was September 19th. So that was a little over 2 weeks ago. With it being so long, I did have some trades, but the quantity per day had decreased quite a bit. With that being said, I updated the recent trades all the way up to the 1st of October. I will make another one of these doing the last 3 days and then also the next projection on Thursday, this Thursday here in 3 days. With that being said, all my short-term projections that I keep a record of will be due on Thursday. So that's my projections of the prices increases or decreases on Thursday. Let's go into some of the items I am currently marketing. Magic logs, of course. I peaked at about 1.8 mil a few weeks ago, magic logs. On the 19th, I got down to about 1.4 mil. I've back up to about 1.5, 1.6 mil magic logs. With that being said, I have an offer in the GE right now for 100,000 or 150,000 to sell. Because the Grand Exchange price was about 615, 620 a couple days ago. It's 640 now. And the magic logs are selling pretty quickly, about 675 to 680. I'll sell a good portion about that level. So if you have some magic logs from before, you may want to look at that and don't feel bad if you're undercutting me. I have a little over 1 bill worth in magic logs. Unicorn pouches and barker toad pouches. I've just started buying those. This is like 117 something. That is due to the double experience. A bunch of people made barker toad and unicorn pouches, and now they're mass dumping them on the Grand Exchange, which has deflated the price quite a bit. Right before double experience weekend, these were about 3.3, 3.4k each for unicorn horns or unicorn pouches, and barker toad pouches were about 1.3 to 1.4k each. So they've dropped quite a bit, and I believe 2.7k, that's the shards that you can get. So really there's no risk here because I can just change them to shards and get about that much left. Magic seeds, I don't think I had any last time, but this is one of them that kind of changed like crazy after double experience weekend. Before and after double experience weekend, it was about 90k, 85 to 90k is what I sell my magic seeds because they were staying around 70 to 85k. So I sold them about 85ish, 90k. However, they kept going up and they're still going up. They're like 122k each, 122k right now. Eric bones. I did start buying some of those about double experience weekend and shortly after, just because they crashed quite a bit. They were down to about 5.2k each. Right now they're about 5.8k each. They went up to about 5.9k each, and it's looking like they're dropping a little bit. With that being said, it is still quite a bit below what they were selling for weeks before double experience weekend. So I do project those will go up a little bit. As also unicorn pouches, they're already starting to sell above the GE med price. Frost Dragon Bones, those went down to about 11.1, 11.2k each during double experience weekend. They're right at about 12k each. They were about 12.2 to 12.8k each about a month before double experience weekend. So those are close to the pre-double experience weekend price, but not quite. With them being so close, I did not project those to go up. They might. I'm just not willing to say one for sure. Ganodermic flakes, that is the funniest item in a long time. It's going up and down, up and down, up and down. With that being said, I have no idea where it's going next. Currently, they're selling below med price by about 10, 15 GP each. They're selling right about 320 each. They may go back down to about 270, 280 each. They were about a month ago. They were about 380, 390 each 2 to 3 weeks ago. Big margin there. I'm not sure which way it's headed. Giant in pouches, those will likely go down just because right now they are selling in the... You can non-instantly buy. You can instantly sell for about 2 to 2.1k each. That might bring the price down. I'm not exactly sure what they're buying at instant buys, but that might go down. Grimy Lantadimes, that was about 4.2k each, I believe, on the 19th, right before Double Experience Weekend. They're down to about 3.2k each. Looks like they've hit their minimum. They're selling for about 3.3k each in the GE right now. I project those to go up in the next couple days. Clean Lantadimes, this gap right here is pretty large, so Grimy Lantadimes will probably come back up. Clean Lantadimes might go down a little bit, but that 330 gap will probably decrease a little bit. Vibrant Energies, this item has crashed lately. Luckily I didn't have any. I'm not exactly sure why it crashed. It may be due to the Arc having a divination slot. With that being said, I would think the Arc having a divination spot would decrease the amount of energies coming into the game, which will create less vibrant energies, which will increase the demand, driving the price up. We will see though. They may have been inflated for Double Experience Weekend too, possibly. I'm not sure. Clean and Grimy Snapdragons. This was another funny item. I had a ton right before Double Experience Weekend, and I told you all I was going to sell about 4k each because I didn't want to get stuck with them after Double Experience Weekend. Once we go to the recent trades, we will see I sold them about 4k each. Funnily enough, these items, Clean Snapdragons, were selling for over 5k each during Double Experience Weekend. Grimy Snapdragons were about that as well. Could have made bank if I held on to those, but I didn't know. Clean Grimy Snapdragons and Clean Grimy Torstals all went through the roof during Double Experience Weekend. Lantadimes and Dwarfweeds crashed. Surprise, surprise, that's why I still have a good portion of them. And the Lantadimes and Dwarfs, I have more than I had 15 days ago. Clean Dwarfs, I did sell a good portion of them a couple days ago. I don't think it's going to be on the recent trades because it's within the last 2 days. But they were selling about 4k each, so I took advantage of that and sold them. Grimy Dwarfs and Clean Dwarfs, I think those went down to about 3.6k each. They went up a little bit. They're now selling about 20, 30 below GE med price. I think once these stable out, the cleans will be about 4k. The grimy will be about 3.7, 3.8. Clean Lantadimes will probably be about 4k. Grimy will be 3.7, 3.8. That might be in a couple months' time, though. With that being said, I don't have anything else. Just the Grimy Lantadimes, Eric Bones, Unicorn Pouches. Last time I didn't have any because I knew it was going to be a week or two before I did one of these, and I didn't know which way the prices were going to go over 2 weeks. Recent trades. This is where I log all my trades above 10 mil. So I have all my old trades that I haven't sold yet, and then all the recent trades that I sold on here. If they were bought and sold before the 19th or whenever my last one was, I filtered them out to not make it look so scattered. Grimy snaps, as I mentioned earlier, I sold all those. Made pretty good profit on them. Could have made more, but that's a pretty good thing. The sharks, I think this was in one of my merchanting updates. I had a GE full of sharks, or 20,000 of them that I bought, and said, I don't know what I'll do with them. I'll sell them. Surely they'll make some profit. It actually didn't take me 10 days. I just held on to them for a while because all my GE slots were full. Eventually I sold them and made 760,000 on them. Actually about 10 days later. I could have sold them sooner, but I wasn't gonna risk the... At that time I had more important items I had in my GE slots. So the 760,000. But I knew it wasn't going to go down that much, so it may have cost me 200,000 or 300,000 opportunity cost, and that wasn't worth the GE slot at the time due to not checking the GE as much as I was. The clean snaps, once again, I mentioned that I sold all those, and this actually I sold for a little bit more than previous, 4.2k each. Made about 4 mil on that. One thing you will notice on here is I don't have many losses on my profit over the last 2 weeks. I may have some in the last 3 days, I'm not sure. Part of that is because some of the items like Lancidimes and dwarf weeds crashed so much that I still have them, and I think they'll come back up a little bit, and I'll sell them once they come back up. It will still be a loss, not as much, but you won't see that loss in this column until I do sell them. Ganodermic flakes, bought 343, sold for 361, made about 1 mil. More snapdragons. Magic logs. This was an awesome trade right here. I bought 100,000 magic logs, and I sold them 10 days later at the same price. That's a win right there. But you can't do that. Basically, I think at this time the GE med price was like 670 each or something. I saw it was selling way below med price, so I bought them. And then a few days later, they crashed. And then I sold for 645 each. After they went down to like 560, 570 each. At 645, I was like, okay, I need to start trimming some of my 1.6 million magic logs in case it goes back down again. I need to get some GP so I can merchant. And that's what I did, and turns out it was 0. At the time of the trade, I didn't know it was a break even. Just like at the time of this trade, I didn't know it was a loss. But if I had to guess, I would have figured both of these would have probably been a loss. Just because magic logs were like 670, 680 for a long time, and then they crashed. Long time being like a week to buy them. Clean snapdragons. This one I actually 5,000 bought for 3.7, and the next day I sold for 4.2k, made about 2 mil. So this is kind of where we ended here. Magic logs. I bought them and then sold them. That was a loss. Frost Dragon Bones, I haven't sold that many Frost Dragon Bones yet. But at this moment, this would be a gain of a couple hundred GP each, a couple mil. Right here, this would be a loss because it's fallen farther. This would be a little bit of a gain. Actually, that's only 200,000 or 2,000 bones, so it'd be only like a 500k profit. Grimy Dwarfs, this is a major loss. I think it's like 3.6k, so this would be a loss of about 6 mil. And those of you that haven't watched my merchanting update, I'll post a link on it at the beginning and more towards the end. But I did lose like 350 mil bank value over these last 2 weeks. A good portion of that was due to training summoning. I got about 68 mil summoning experience. If you multiply that by about 4, it's a loss of about 280 mil. So I lost merchanting wise about 100-ish mil, and stuff like this right here is a good portion of it. Magic logs I bought, once again, they were about 670 in the med price, and I went ahead and bought 125,000. Right now, this would be a little bit of a loss. However, if I sell them in the GE right now, what they're currently going for, it'd be actually a little bit of gain, couple mil. Lenta dimes, that's a loss. In fact, right now it's about 800 GP below what I bought it for. That is about a 16 mil loss in one trade. As I mentioned, I do believe that it will go up some. I don't know how much. But if I sell them about 4.6 to 3.6 to 3.8k each, then that gets it down to about an 8 to 12 mil loss. Not near as bad. Not good, but with the things that I've made money on, like some of the magic bones and air bones, magic logs, and frost dragon bones, then that'll be a come out a wash. Clean snaps, grimy snaps. This is the stuff that I had before the, what is that, August 31st. When I started doing it, when I started this log, I already had them before, so I went ahead and sold the rest of my stash, and I didn't do the calculation, but 440 times 23,000 is about a 10 mil profit. This is about 175, so about a 12 mil profit, I believe. So these were really good trades in the long run. I had them for about a month or so though, so that is a lot of dead weight, not a very good percent return. And it was pretty much washed out from the Lenta dimes and dwarfs falling so much. Raw sharks. This was, I think, was this double experience weekend? I believe so. Somebody started selling them, panic selling. I sold for about 100 each profit, and that is at a 2 mil. I can do that math easily. 2 mil profit on those raw sharks. Grimy dwarfs I bought for 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is after. Nope, this is still double experience weekend, I believe. So they had actually already fallen. Oh, this in the med price was like 3.94k each. So at the time I was like, woohoo, this is a good trade, and it still is going to be a good trade. Just going to take a little longer. Same for these. Probably be a in fact 3.5. It's a little bit of a loss right now. If I hold for a little while and they go up a little bit more, then it'll be a gain. This one during double experience weekend or right above 20,000 frost dragon bones. Bought them for 11k each. So 1,000 profit right now. If I sell all 20,000, that's a 20 mil profit. Once again, washed out by the stinking Lenta dimes and dwarfs. I do want to show you something. Those of you that have watched my channel quite a bit have told me to, or have heard me say many times, that you want an equal spread of items, because if something starts crashing, then you won't lose as much. And look at my chart. This is not ideal at all. Magic logs are 24% of my merchanting bank. Then we got grimy dwarfs, 17%. This is grimy Lenta dimes at 17%, and then frost dragon bones at 23%. These might go up a little bit more, not much. These crashed, but are coming back up a little bit. These crashed. These crashed. That is one reason why I lost more than I gained. Actually, these have went up a little bit, but they weren't enough to, because I had a lot less going into double experience weekend. I had 55,000, not much less, but not enough to counterweight these 3 large ones. And these weren't quite that high because I had snapdragons and stuff, but after double experience weekend, during double experience weekend and right after, I kept buying more. So I'm risking quite a bit. If they made an update or something that crashed herbs, I'd be screwed. Or if something happens and herbs just don't go up, or they start going down for some unexpected reason, once again I'd be screwed. Because Frost Dragon Bones probably won't go up too much more. They might go up a 500 GP or so, but percentage wise that's not very much when they're 11,000. It's like 5%. Not enough to make up for the crash of the herbs and stuff. As before, I will attach this link in the description below in case you guys want to look at it. It is locked, so you can't really adjust anything except for the pivot table, and that's just me messing around a couple weeks ago. As mentioned before, Thursday I'll make the new video of this, catch up on it, and to check to see if these prices went up, how much, and or if they went down. Tomorrow I will be having another video. I'm not exactly sure what it will be. It may be my my dead man mode merchanting. There's a big list I need to do. If there's any videos that you guys are wanting in particular, if you watch this far, please let me know, because then that will change my priority on what I upload next. Right now I'm just kind of doing whatever I want or what I would enjoy more, but if you guys have anything in particular you guys are wanting that you heard me talk about over the last videos or even in this video, please let me know and I will work on that one and upload it. So tomorrow you may want to check back. I'll have a video. Thursday I'll have another one of these, and then merchanting update next Sunday, and we'll go from there. Have a good day and happy merchanting.